The sun beats down on a field of ruins. This is Olympia, Greece, the birthplace of a legend. Here, amidst the whispers of history, the Olympic Games first took shape. From the ancient Greeks who gathered to honor their gods to the modern athletes who captivate the world, the Olympics have transcended time and culture, becoming a symbol of unity and sportsmanship. The Olympics, as we know them today, are a tapestry woven from threads of ancient tradition and modern innovation. Their roots lie in the religious festivals of ancient Greece, where athletes competed to honor Zeus, the king of the gods. These early games were simpler affairs with fewer events and participants, yet the spirit of competition burned just as brightly then as it does now. In ancient Greece, city-states would lay down their arms and embrace a sacred truce during the games. This period of peace, known as Ekacheria, allowed athletes and spectators to travel safely to Olympia, transforming the games into a symbol of unity. Centuries passed and the ruins of Olympia lay silent. However, the ideals that fueled those ancient games, excellence, friendship, respect, remained timeless. The ember that would reignite the Olympic flame was fanned into life in the mind of a young Frenchman named Pierre de Coubertin.
I believe that sport had the power to transcend political and cultural boundaries, to foster peace and understanding.
His vision was met with a blend of skepticism and enthusiasm. Yet Coubertin persevered, rallying support from individuals and organizations who shared his belief in the unifying power of sport. Journey back in time and imagine yourself standing on the sun-drenched plains of ancient Greece. You are in Olympia, a sanctuary dedicated to Zeus, the king of the gods. This sacred ground was more than just a sporting venue. It was the heart of the Pan-Hellenic Games.
Every 4 years, Olympia would transform into a vibrant hub of activity. Athletes, dignitaries, artists, and spectators from all corners of the Greek world converged upon this hallowed ground. The very air crackled with the spirit of competition, the desire to achieve glory.
The focal point of this grand spectacle was the massive Temple of Zeus, a testament to the architectural genius of the ancient Greeks. The ancient Olympic Games were more than just a display of athletic prowess. They were a deeply religious festival, a tribute to Zeus. The very act of competition was considered a sacred duty, a way for athletes to demonstrate their physical and moral excellence. The games were governed by a strict set of rules and rituals, reflecting their religious significance. Before the games could commence, sacrifices were offered to Zeus and other gods, seeking their blessings for the athletes. The names of Olympic victors were etched in stone, their feats immortalized for future generations. One such legend was Milo of Croton, a wrestler who won 6 consecutive Olympic titles. Another celebrated champion was Leonidas of Rhodes, a runner who dominated the sprint events, winning 12 Olympic titles. These athletes were more than just competitors, they were symbols of human potential. The chariot race was a spectacle that left crowds breathless. Teams of horses, driven at breakneck speed around the hippodrome, tested the courage and skill of both charioteer and beast. Victory in this event brought immense prestige, and the winning charioteer would be showered with honors and riches. The ancient Olympic Games were more than just athletic competitions. They were a cultural phenomenon. Poets recited their verses hoping to gain the favor of the muses. Philosophers engaged in lively debates, their ideas sparking intellectual ferment. Artists flocked to Olympia, eager to capture the energy and excitement of the games in their sculptures and paintings. The ancient Olympic Games, for all their glory, were not immune to the tides of history. The very forces that had allowed them to flourish began to erode as a new power emerged in the Mediterranean Rome. At first, the Romans viewed the Olympic Games with a mixture of curiosity and admiration. Roman athletes even began to compete in the Games, adding a new dimension to the competition. The Roman emperors who followed Julius Caesar had varying attitudes towards the games. Some, like Augustus, saw the value in maintaining these Greek traditions. However, other emperors viewed the games with suspicion, seeing them as a potential hotbed of Greek nationalism. The decline of the Olympic Games was a gradual process. The once grand stadiums and temples began to show signs of neglect. The pool of athletes dwindled as the Games lost their prestige. The Romanization of Greek culture and the spread of Christianity contributed to a sense of apathy towards the Games. The final blow was delivered in the 4th century CE by Emperor Theodosius I. In 393 CE, Theodosius issued an edict abolishing all pagan festivals, including the Olympic Games. The demise of the ancient Olympic Games was a loss not just for the Greeks, but for the world. It marked the silencing of a tradition that had celebrated human potential and fostered unity. With the fall of the Roman Empire, Olympia was all but forgotten. The Games, once a beacon of Greek culture, faded into legend. The 19th century was an era of profound transformation. Amidst this whirlwind of change, a young French aristocrat named Pierre de Coubertin dared to dream of a different kind of revolution.
I believed that education, particularly physical education, held the key to fostering understanding and peace among nations.
Coubertin, a scholar and educator, was deeply troubled by the political and social divisions of his time. His travels to England, where he witnessed the burgeoning sporting culture, further solidified his conviction.
The ideals of the ancient Olympic Games drew me in, their emphasis on athletic excellence and their ability to bring people together.
Undeterred by skepticism, Coubertin embarked on a tireless campaign to rally support for his Olympic revival.
I traveled extensively, meeting with educators, politicians, and sporting officials.
His message resonated with individuals who shared his ideals. Slowly but surely, a movement began to take shape, fueled by a shared desire to breathe life into Coubertin's dream. The selection of Athens as the host city for the inaugural modern Olympic Games was a symbolic choice. The Games were scheduled for April 1896, and as the date approached, the world watched with anticipation. The Panathenaic Stadium, a magnificent marble structure, was chosen as the main venue. On April 6, 1896, the first modern Olympic Games were officially opened by King George I of Greece. The opening ceremony blended ancient rituals with modern pageantry, a testament to the enduring legacy of the Games. The 1896 Athens Olympics were not without their challenges. Financial constraints and logistical hurdles tested the resolve of the organizers. Yet, through it all, the spirit of the Games shone through.
The Games were a resounding success, capturing the imagination of the public and reigniting the Olympic flame.
The successful revival of the Olympic Games in Athens ignited a global passion for athletic competition. However, the path forward was not without its challenges. The early Olympic Games faced organizational hurdles, financial constraints, and political tensions. The second Olympic Games, held in Paris in 1900, presented a stark contrast to the Athens Games. Incorporated into the Paris World's Fair, the Games suffered from organizational issues. Despite these challenges, the Paris Games introduced several new sports, including women's participation in lawn tennis and golf. The 1904 St. Louis Games highlighted the need for greater organization and accessibility. As the Olympic movement gained momentum, a desire emerged to celebrate athletic achievements in winter sports. This desire culminated in the birth of the Winter Olympics. In 1924, the first Winter Olympics were held in Chamonix, France. Athletes from 16 nations showcased their skills in a variety of disciplines, including bobsleigh, figure skating, ice hockey, and skiing. Section 3. Breaking Barriers. Women's Participation in the Olympics. The early 20th century witnessed a growing movement advocating for women's rights, including greater access to education, employment, and societal participation. This wave of social change also reached the realm of sports, challenging traditional notions of femininity and athleticism. The Olympic Games, initially an exclusively male domain, gradually opened its doors to female athletes, marking a significant step towards greater gender equality in sports.
The 1900 Paris Olympics hold the distinction of being the first games to feature women athletes. Although our participation was limited to a handful of sports, our presence marked a symbolic shift, a crack in the edifice of male exclusivity that had long defined the Games.
Over the subsequent decades, women's participation in the Olympics faced resistance and setbacks. Section 4. A global stage expanding the reach of the Games. From their humble beginnings in Athens, the modern Olympic Games have evolved into a truly global spectacle, a testament to their enduring appeal and their ability to transcend cultural and geographical boundaries. With each successive Games, the number of participating nations and athletes has steadily increased, reflecting the growing global reach of the Olympic movement. The post-World War II era witnessed a surge in Olympic participation as newly independent nations embraced the Games as a platform to showcase their national identities and athletic prowess on the world stage. The Games became a symbol of international unity and cooperation, a beacon of hope in a world grappling with the aftermath of conflict. The Olympic movement's commitment to universality, enshrined in its charter, has led to concerted efforts to promote participation from developing nations and underrepresented regions. Olympic solidarity programs aimed at providing financial assistance, training opportunities, and equipment to athletes from developing nations have played a crucial role in leveling the playing field and fostering greater inclusivity. Section 5. The evolution of the modern pentathlon, a testament to adaptability. The Olympic Games, while steeped in tradition, have also demonstrated a remarkable capacity for adaptation and evolution, reflecting changes in sporting trends, technological advancements, and societal values. The modern pentathlon, a unique event with roots in the ancient games, exemplifies this spirit of adaptation. Conceived by Baron Pierre de Coubertin himself, the modern pentathlon was designed to embody the skills of an ideal soldier from the early 20th century. The event, originally spanning 5 days, tested athletes in 5 disciplines: shooting, swimming, fencing, equestrian show jumping, and cross-country running. Over the decades, the modern pentathlon has undergone several modifications to reflect advancements in sporting technology and to enhance its spectator appeal. Triumph over adversity. Jesse Owens at the 1936 Berlin Games. The 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin unfolded against a backdrop of rising global tensions and Nazi ideology. Hitler envisioned the Games as a platform to showcase Aryan supremacy. However, Jesse Owens delivered a powerful message of equality, shattering the myth of racial superiority.
Owens, from Alabama, had already established himself as an exceptional athlete, breaking world records. Despite calls for a boycott, Owens believed in the unifying power of sport.
Owens captivated the world with his speed, grace, and determination. He won gold in the 100 meters, 200 meters, 4x100 relay, and long jump. Owens's triumphs were a resounding rebuke to Nazi ideology and a testament to the human spirit. The Munich Massacre of 1972. The 1972 Olympic Games in Munich were meant to showcase a nation rebuilding. The Games were designed to be a celebration of peace. But on September 5th, Black September took 11 Israeli athletes hostage. The world watched in horror as the crisis unfolded. The Munich Massacre shattered the illusion of the Olympics as a sanctuary of peace. Section 3. A podium of protest, the Black Power Salute of 1968. The 1968 Olympic Games, held in Mexico City, took place during a tumultuous year marked by social and political upheaval.
The civil rights movement in the United States was reaching a boiling point. The Vietnam War raged on, and student protests were erupting around the world.
Against this backdrop of global unrest, The Mexico City Games became a stage for powerful displays of protest and a testament to the intersection of sports and social activism.
On October 16, 1968, two American athletes, Tommy Smith and John Carlos, made history on the podium after winning gold and bronze medals, respectively, in the 200-meter race.
As the American national anthem played, Smith and Carlos, heads bowed and black-gloved fists raised in the air, performed a silent protest, later dubbed the Black Power Salute, to draw attention to the plight of African Americans and the ongoing struggle for racial equality.
Their act of defiance, captured in a now iconic photograph, sent shockwaves around the world.
Section 4. Walls crumble, unity prevails. The Barcelona Games of 1992. The 1992 Barcelona Olympics unfolded against a backdrop of profound geopolitical change. The Berlin Wall had fallen just 3 years earlier, the Soviet Union had dissolved, and the Cold War, which had cast a long shadow over the Olympics for decades, was finally over. The Barcelona Games, imbued with a spirit of optimism and renewal, became a celebration of unity and a testament to the power of sport to bridge divides. One of the most enduring images of the Barcelona Games was the sight of the unified team, composed of athletes from former Soviet republics, marching together under the Olympic flag during the opening ceremony. This symbolic act of unity, a testament to the dissolving of political barriers, brought tears to the eyes of many spectators and embodied the Olympic spirit of international cooperation and shared humanity. The Barcelona Games also marked a return to the Olympic stage for South Africa, which had been banned from the Games for over 3 decades due to its apartheid policies. Section 1. The Price of Glory, Financial Burdens, and the Olympic Host. The Olympic Games, while a source of national pride and global attention, come at a steep price. Hosting the Games requires a massive financial commitment, often stretching the resources of even the wealthiest nations. From constructing state-of-the-art stadiums and athlete villages to upgrading transportation systems and security infrastructure, the costs associated with hosting the Olympics can be staggering. The allure of hosting the Games, with its promise of tourism revenue, job creation, and a boost to national prestige, often overshadows the potential for cost overruns, white elephant stadiums, and long-term debt. The 2004 Athens Olympics, for example, while hailed as a logistical success, left Greece saddled with a massive debt burden, contributing to the country's subsequent economic woes. The escalating costs of hosting the Olympics have led to a decline in the number of cities bidding for the Games. Section 2. The Shadow of Doping, Preserving the Integrity of Competition. The pursuit of athletic excellence, a cornerstone of the Olympic spirit, has been tarnished by the pervasive shadow of doping, the use of performance-enhancing drugs to gain an unfair advantage. Doping scandals have rocked the Olympic movement, eroding public trust and casting a shadow of suspicion over even the most extraordinary athletic achievements. From the infamous East German doping program of the 1970s and 1980s to the recent revelations about state-sponsored doping in Russia, the history of the Olympics is intertwined with a relentless battle against those who seek to undermine the integrity of competition through artificial means. The fight against doping is a complex and ever-evolving challenge. Advances in pharmaceutical science continually outpace the development of detection methods, creating a constant game of cat and mouse between athletes seeking an edge and those tasked with upholding the sanctity of fair play. Section 3. Navigating a World in Conflict. Political Boycotts and the Olympic Ideal. The Olympic Games, despite their aspirations of transcending political divisions, have often found themselves entangled in the complexities of global politics. Political boycotts, used as a tool of protest or punishment, have marred the Games throughout their modern history, testing the delicate balance between sport and international relations. The Cold War era, in particular, witnessed a series of Olympic boycotts as the United States and the Soviet Union, locked in an ideological struggle, used the Games as a proxy battleground. The 1980 Moscow Olympics and the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics were both marred by boycotts, depriving athletes from numerous nations of the opportunity to compete on the world stage. While the end of the Cold War brought hope for a less politically charged Olympic experience, boycotts have persisted, albeit on a smaller scale. Section 1. Adapting to a changing world. The rise of new sports. The Olympic Games, while steeped in tradition, have also demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt and evolve, reflecting changing societal trends, technological advancements, and the evolving tastes of a global audience. This spirit of adaptation is evident in the recent additions to the Olympic program, which have injected a youthful energy and a sense of urban cool into the Games. Recognizing the need to engage a younger generation and to embrace sports with growing global appeal, the International Olympic Committee, or IOC, has made a concerted effort to diversify the Olympic program. This has led to the inclusion of sports such as skateboarding, surfing, and sport climbing, which made their debut at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
The 2020 Tokyo Olympics, delayed by a year due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, will forever be etched in history as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the Games' ability to adapt and persevere in the face of unprecedented challenges.
The pandemic cast a long shadow over the Games, forcing organizers to implement stringent health and safety protocols, restrict spectator access, and navigate a complex web of logistical hurdles.
The decision to postpone the Games, while unprecedented, was a testament to the IOC's commitment to prioritizing the health and safety of athletes, officials, and spectators.
The Tokyo Olympics, though delayed, served as a beacon of hope during a time of global uncertainty, a symbol of our collective determination to overcome adversity and celebrate the unifying power of sport.
The Games, held amidst a backdrop of empty stadiums and masked athletes, were a stark departure from the celebratory atmosphere that typically defines the Olympics.
Section 3. Looking ahead, sustainability, inclusivity, and the future of the Games. As the Olympic movement looks to the future, it faces a myriad of challenges and opportunities. The Games, a product of their time, must continue to evolve and adapt to reflect the changing values, priorities, and realities of the 21st century. Sustainability has emerged as a paramount concern for the Olympic movement. The environmental impact of hosting the Games, particularly the construction of massive sporting venues, has come under increasing scrutiny. Future Olympic Games will need to prioritize sustainable practices, from utilizing renewable energy sources and minimizing waste, to designing venues that can be repurposed for community use after the Games have concluded. Section 1. A tapestry of triumph, tragedy, and the unbreakable spirit. The Olympic Games, from their ancient origins to their modern incarnation, reflect the triumphs and tragedies that have shaped our world. From Olympia's plains to today's stadiums, we've witnessed a global phenomenon that continues to inspire.
From Jesse Owens' victories in Berlin to athletes' resilience in Tokyo, the human spirit remains triumphant. The Olympic flame endures, uniting us and reminding us of our shared humanity.
Section 2. Carrying the torch forward. A call to action. The Olympic Games, though steeped in tradition, are not a relic of the past. They are a living, breathing entity, constantly evolving and adapting to the changing world around us. And just as athletes strive to pass the torch to the next generation, so too must we all embrace the responsibility to nurture the Olympic spirit and ensure its relevance for generations to come.
To the young people watching, the future Olympians honing their skills in playgrounds and training grounds around the world, your time is now.
Section 3. The enduring legacy, a beacon of hope for generations to come. The Olympic Games' legacy extends far beyond sport. They remind us of humanity's potential to transcend differences and build a more peaceful world. Despite global conflicts, the Games unite us through shared humanity, compassion, and a common goal. They inspire us to believe in dreams, embrace fair play, and strive for a future where Olympic values are a lived reality.
The Olympic story continues with future generations, athletes who dream and communities celebrating sport's power. Let us carry the torch forward, believing in the Olympic spirit to inspire and unite us